It's the moment you didn't know you're waiting for.
He is Carter.
He's Chad.
And this is the
Irish 365 Podcast.
Welcome into the Irish 365 Podcast. We got a little bit different take this week, right? We won a game.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good change of pace.
Is this a victory pod?
First victory pod of the season.
Yeah, it was much needed. I don't think we could take another post-game L pod. Especially not 3 in a row, right?
I could not take another one. I can tell you that right now.
I was going to say, we hit our record, obviously, of 2 pods in a row with a loss. That wasn't very fun. We're used to the winning things around the Irish 65 pod. Not used to talking about so much losing here at Notre Dame. So, yeah, definitely great display by the offense. We'll get into the whole game. But, yeah, Notre Dame comes out, gets a win against a Purdue team that's much improved from last year. I think we all probably took that away from the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Purdue's a much better team than what they were last year, which just goes to show in the NIL transfer portal era, it's not hard to improve a team in a short period of time. Are they national?
Yeah, what is it, 83 new faces on that program?
Yeah, 120 roster or whatever the roster size is now. There's 83 new faces, so that's quite a change for sure. But it just goes to show they're not a national championship contender, but even a team like Purdue, and I don't know how they're doing in the NIL era, if they're getting all in on it, or if they're spending all their money on basketball, or how they're going. Yeah. But it's amazing just how much a team can change in the course of 12 months or less.
I mean, if they can keep their coach around and keep things going 2-3 years, they'll be top half of the Big Ten. I don't think they're going to be doing what IU did necessarily. But, yeah, I mean, just a team that should be middle of the pack. They shouldn't be bound in the Big Ten every year.
Yeah, the question is IU a pretender or a contender? And that's a whole
they made Illinois look like fools on Saturday night. So
how good is Illinois? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean,
that's the fun of September football, right?
Exactly. I mean, another podcast, another show. We're not going to talk about IU today. So let's talk about the vibe of Purdue, Notre Dame, I guess. Hitting campus. I thought it was a really strange vibe. Nervous, anxious. It wasn't the same vibe as pre-A&M, that's for sure. I think
you definitely didn't feel like a football game was about to take place, that everyone was about to be loud for over 60-plus minutes of game time. It was definitely an interesting campus. Was, I don't want to say calmer, but I don't know the best way to describe it, I guess. I wouldn't say calm because people are still excited at the game day, but it's definitely not kicking off a top 20 night game against an SEC opponent.
Yeah. I would say the A&M game had the feel of everybody was excited right before they went to their favorite cousin's reception at a wedding, after the wedding. And maybe the Purdue game felt more like you were going to your great-great-aunt's funeral. Like, you kind of expected it, but not excited about it. I don't know. It was just a weird vibe. It just didn't have the same buzz for sure. So
yeah, and it's one of those things where I was texting some friends or before the game. It's like, man, I'm excited because we get a chance to go play football, but at the same time, like, I'm not excited for this game because best case scenario we win 70-0, and I don't know if I feel great about it because it's Purdue. And worst case we lose this game, and I'm really not going to feel great about it because it's Purdue. Like, just how are you going to feel walking out of that stadium by the end of the game? But I mean, I think we improved. We saw some improvement from the Fighting Irish, at least on the offensive side of the ball. Saw improvements on the defense side of the ball. I'm not going to act like there was no defensive improvements throughout the game. And, so, I mean, I don't know if you want to start breaking down some box scores. You want to get into the game play-by-play?
Let's just highlight quickly kind of the quarters, right? I mean, first quarter, it was tight. It wasn't Purdue didn't go away quickly. I guess that's...
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we got to get into defense. Started off again, which I don't think they got scored on in the opening drive, right? I'm trying to remember. Definitely not against A&M. I don't think in Miami we got scored on the opening drive, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
I'd have to go back and look I don't think they scored on opening drive.
Purdue had a couple penalties, lost 14 yards, and then, I mean, you can't talk about the first quarter, not talk about one play, 66 yards, right, to Malachi Fields.
It was reminiscent of the Denbrock days back when he had Will Fuller. I'm going to send this guy deep, and I'm just going to take my shot. I mean, it felt like we did it I know we didn't, but it just felt like we did it every game.
It did feel like, especially, those must-win USC, Michigan, Will Fuller see ya, right? Like he's
Yeah. And the great thing about that play is you take the top off the defense early, you expect to open up the run game.
oh yeah,
And I don't know if that's what opened up the run game or not, but the run game was definitely wide open. I mean, it was Waffle House 24/7 in the run game.
yeah. And I mean, then Purdue. I mean, we can talk about Purdue 6 plays, 75 yards, but the people that are trashing Notre Dame's defense on that touchdown play, like who thought they're going to hand the ball off to Maccabee and claps the defense in, and then he's going to throw it back to his quarterback?
Yeah,
I mean, heck of a play call.
Trick play. I love the play call. I hate it happened to us, but I love that play call.
Yeah,
I mean that was
absolute. That's flag football 101 right there, right?
I was going to say, yeah, digging into the old flag football playbook right there, but I liked it. I really liked the play call. I liked what happened. I just didn't like the fact that it was Purdue doing it to Notre Dame. So
yeah.
So yeah,
but the Irish ended up responding pretty quickly down there. 10 plays, 56 yards, in just under 5 minutes to take that lead at the end of the first quarter. Jeremiah Love gets his first of the day.
Yeah, on just great running. I think you and I were sitting there at the end of the quarter talking, and it's like, wait a minute, like we got like 90 yards of passing. Didn't we get like 65 of that? Maybe that was halftime. I don't remember which, but it was like
I think it was a little bit farther. I don't think we did throw the ball one. We had one completion on that drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you're looking at the stat sheet. I don't remember if it was. I think it was midway through that second quarter. It's like, yeah, we've got 90 passing yards and 66 of it was on one
first play.
Like was on our first play, not just one play. Our first
play, and you're like, what? It felt like we threw the ball a lot in the first quarter, but we threw it twice, and that was. But we ran.
I think
the ball
3 times. I think we had one incompletion. Yeah, I mean CJ I think threw the ball 12 times.
Yeah,
like he was 10 for 12 or something stupid.
Yeah, which is funny because I think we were like, oh, someone predict passing yards. Yeah, that was a bad call. This was a run and run a lot. I thought it'd be a pass a lot game. It turned out to be a run and run, and I liked the run and run a lot game. We saw some duo in the second, even in the first quarter. We saw some duo, 2 tight ends, just letting those guys push off and block. It was great to get the run game healthy. That's for sure. So first quarter we're up 14-7 at the end of one.
Yep, and then Purdue starts the second quarter, 6-minute drive, 13 plays, 45 yards. Ends up getting a field goal on this one, so bend don't break. There are a couple incompletions. So defense gets out the field, forces a 48-yard field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, figured it out a little bit there. And then, the Notre Dame offense, I mean, what more can you say? Responds, though, with 9 plays, 75 yards, in just under 5 minutes again. And we end up with, who got that one? Jadarian Price with his first touchdown of the 4.
First touch of the game, in fact.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was a 21. Yeah, he just bounced outside, right? And when got in there. So, I mean, Jadarian Price, enough said about him. I mean, if you watch that game, wow. Price and Love. But, and then Notre Dame's defense, up 21-10, 3 plays in, gets an interception.
Yay!
Christian Gray comes out, makes his first pick of the year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, first pick of the year for him. And this is one where I remember looking at you and saying, no field goal. We're getting the ball in the 36. Need a touchdown.
Got to score.
That's what we got.
Yep.
Right? 9-yard touchdown run. Price gets his second of the day. And that drive was heavy Price. I think, Price 12-yard run, Price 4-yard run, 5-yard run, 6-yard run, and then 9-yard. Every play went to Price on that next touchdown drive.
Yeah. And it was earned. I mean, he just kept getting yards, kept making plays, so feed him the rock.
Yeah, and then Purdue goes 12 plays, 67 yards, and gets a field goal on the return here. Again, just level field goal, though. Kicker hooked one in on that left side and then hooked one in on that right side. It wasn't pretty, but he was kissing the post, but he made them.
Yeah, he was inside him. I guess that's the important part.
Yep. All right, and then we go a minute 46. We get the ball, and you're like, all right, 28-13. Let's go get a touchdown before the half.
Let's go win the middle 8.
Yeah, let's go win it. And what happens? Notre Dame, CJ Carr fumbles second play. Or first play.
Yeah. And
gets sacked. Yeah.
Knapp just blew his assignment on that blocking. I saw some stuff on social where basically it looked like he was looking for an inside stunt that never came and then let the guy kind of release outside, and it was like, didn't react fast enough. It's like, and you could pick apart Knapp if you want to, and I know some people have because he made it. I was like, look at what the guy did last year as a true freshman. Okay, he made a mistake, but it wasn't like, oh, he's a terrible player kind of a thing. So anyway.
Yeah, so Purdue gets the ball on our 19-yard line.
Yep.
They run one play. We get a Notre Dame timeout, and then a very extended delay.
Then the weather hit.
Yeah,
and that was the worst thing that could have happened. The most I was hoping they would get to halftime before the weather hit, and
let's make this clear. So where our season tickets are this year, and we were all sitting together this week. We're in section 101.
101.
So we're looking south, past the jumbotron. You see lightning off. Like we all saw lightning off in the district. Probably the 3 to 4 and 5 minutes before this happens.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's 5 miles or 10 miles.
It's 10 miles. I did go back and look.
Okay, so it felt like that first lightning strike I saw looked like it felt closer than 10 miles.
Had to be 10.1 miles, right?
Yeah, I'm not calibrated. I can't read mileage like that. But yeah, I was like, oh crap, here it comes. And if you look at the radar, it was going to go west of the stadium, and the lightning was going to go east of the stadium a little later. But we had to make a business decision at that point, like, oh, now what? We've got this delay, then there's going to be a halftime. And full disclosure, Caden wasn't feeling well. So
we've stuck out a lot of weather delays. Those have been third, fourth quarter ones.
Yeah, I don't normally leave just because of the weather. I'm not a fair weather fan, but just knowing it was going to be an hour and a half, like
we thought between an hour and 3 hours. We were is what the radar was saying.
Yeah, so we knew it was going to be at least an hour and a half for the weather delay. We knew that if we left the stadium at that point, we could probably be home at about an hour and 50. And it's so if it pushes the 2-hour mark, we could get home and watch the second half from the television and get Caden taken care of. And at
this time, we were thinking it could be an hour and a half to 3-hour weather delay.
Yeah.
Then you're going to come play 90 seconds of football, and then you're going to go back to a 20-minute halftime.
Yeah, that was the assumption we were making. So we made a business decision, and we actually, I think it's the first time I've ever left a Notre Dame game early.
Yeah. Only one I can remember. Yeah.
Yeah. I've set through a lot of rain delays at the home games. You go set in the Joyce or the wherever. And anyway, that was our original thought was like, maybe we'll just go set in the Joyce or we'll go hit Mendoza. And it's like, no, Caden's not feeling well. Let's just get out of here. Let's just not make him more miserable and not have an enjoyable experience for him that day. So we hopped in the car, turned on the radio, listened to the radio broadcast, and those guys were talking and getting delays and updates. But we ordered a pizza from our favorite pizza place, which is usually about an hour wait to get pizza from there. We timed it out right. We swung right there on the way back to the home base, and we had delicious pizza. So for the first time in my entire life, I watched the first half in the stadium, the second half at home, and I can't believe I did.
I was going to say, we were basically pulling in the driveway as Price returns the kickoff in still the second quarter.
Yeah, so
we made it.
Purdue scored, there's the kickoff, and then Price scores.
Yeah, so we made it home before the second half started. So that was just funny that you left with a minute 30 left in the second quarter and you make it home. And we don't live close. We're, like you said, just under 2 hours.
Door to door.
Yeah, but you walk out of the stadium with 91 seconds left in the second quarter. You make it home before the third quarter kickoff. So that was definitely something that I didn't expect to do going into Saturday. We're hoping the rain missed us. And really, the time we were in South Bend, it really didn't, and the rain was coming from the south. It really didn't rain that hard, which is just such an interesting.
Yeah.
Like usually when you think of lightning and storm delays, it's big rain, but it's just kind of like it was lightning. But we walked 15 minutes to the car and didn't even get sprinkled on.
Yeah, very little rain. And like I said, I think most of the storm went west of the stadium, and then later on it went east of the stadium. But it just kept lightning within that 10-mile range and just kept delaying things. So. Anyway.
Yeah, now one interesting thing I saw is that during that delay, you could stay in the stadium in the concourse, but all the concession stands closed down.
And I don't know. That's a weird decision. It seems like you got a captive. I could see shutting down the beer concessions.
But I remember this in the past. Like last year, I think it was. I'm trying to remember what game it was last year. They got shut down third quarter. And I went to buy a pretzel, and they almost didn't sell me one. What's that?
I'm trying to think who it was.
Yeah, it was one of the random. But I tried to go buy a pretzel, and they're like, "We're really not supposed to sell it." I was like, "It's a pretzel. I'm just trying to get some food." But
yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So that was that. We got the weather delay. Notre Dame's defense comes back out, not in a great spot, but makes not the worst of it, right? I mean, we only let up a field goal there. Yeah, definitely could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and then you get the return kick immediately from Price for his next touchdown, and I thought that was funny. I don't know if you saw on social, but they interviewed him and he kind of joked about he did not have the Audric Estime hot dog. Did you see that?
Yeah, no hot dog on that one, so he was good. They said they definitely talked about it during halftime, so that was definitely funny. But yeah, remembered how he just came out and made a play though right after set the tone, which was just definitely needed at that point. Sucks the defense. They ended up letting up pretty quick 6 plays, 75 yards. Purdue's just burning us down the sides there, and they end up getting a field goal out of the bunch.
Yeah.
But anyways, you get a shortened halftime, quarter break, 2-3 minutes. It felt like a pretty quick half, which I'm glad they decided to do that. Doesn't make sense to do a full halftime after sitting in the locker room for hour and a half, hour 45, whatever they were in there for. So yeah, we get the third quarter, we get the ball back, and it's 5 plays, 75 yards, and Jeremiah Love burst that 46-yard touchdown run.
Just again, a lot of just great blocking. I mean, lineman blocking, receivers blocking, just great team effort all the way across on the blocking front, and it showed.
Yeah, I think it's funny because you talk about halftime adjustments, and like during the actual halftime, Purdue between a minute 31 and no time left on the clock, Purdue scored 2 field goals pretty easily, which the one they're in field goal range already, but I mean they still got that one, and then they drive down within like less than a minute and get a field goal, and then our defense actually picks it up like during the third quarter. We get Schuler back, obviously, which is a huge help on the secondary. And yeah, we forced a punt. So that's 4 plays, 18 yards, force a punt there.
Yeah, and we actually got some pressure at different times during this game, which was nice to see. I mean, like, that's been the Achilles heel of this defense, has not been getting pressure. And there's a whole lot of social media conversation. Is it scheme? Is it players? Is it something else? I saw speculation that Marcus Freeman took over play calling in the second half, but I think his press conference I heard today, he put that to bed, or at least he didn't own up to it if that happened. He's kind of like, no. So, but yeah, second half was much better defensive effort. The third quarter, I think Purdue had the field goal, and that was it, right?
Purdue had nothing in the third quarter.
That's right.
They scored late in the fourth, and we'll get into that here in a minute. But yeah, I mean, our defense, and that was with mostly reserves in at that point, got a late score. So second half, I'd almost consider a shutout.
Yeah.
So which is a huge step up from where we were a week ago.
Yeah, and right at the end. Right at the end of the
still
third
letting
quarter.
up 30 points. Purdue is more than we should be, but yeah. But anyways, after that punt, we get the ball back, and it's CJ Carr time. He finds Jordan Faison twice, 15 and then a 48-yard touchdown pass, and they were both great balls there.
Yeah.
From CJ.
Yeah, CJ's gotten very comfortable very quickly in the pocket, throwing the ball, running the offense. Like, he looks way better than a redshirt freshman right now.
Yeah, definitely got some swagger, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch. Fun to watch a Notre Dame quarterback throw the ball downfield.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where when we're such a run-heavy team, you don't get so many opportunities to throw those balls downfield. But when you get them, you got to take advantage of them, right? Because they are open. Like, and the fact he's making the throws, like you don't have the ball yet, where he's like, "Oh, that was our chance at the long ball." Nah, we just are. We're just hitting them.
He's hitting a lot of those throws. His balls are all in the right. I mean, placement of the ball has, especially downfield, has been just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. So yeah, Purdue goes back on offense. Another 3 and out, and we get a sack on that drive. Bryce Young gets his first sack of the year. Again, pressure from the Irish was just fantastic.
Yeah, much improved. Yeah, and then we get the ball back, and is that the Kenny Minchie?
Nope. This one we still go down, and Jarian Price gets his 4th of the day. Just a nice 8-play, 70-yard drive, 5 minutes. Got some CJ Carr finding Micah Gilbert on this drive. He found Will Pauling on this drive. Price had a couple runs. just an all around, just find a little bit of everybody on this drive.
Yeah, it was just a good balanced drive. Yeah, that was a good balanced drive. Nothing too exotic, nothing too crazy, nothing terrible. Which is
and that was TJ's last snaps of the day. At 56-23, then we get Purdue comes back on the field, 5 plays. They get a total of 6 yards. We got a penalty after they got a first down. And, ended up punting the ball again there. Couple of stops on the run game for tackles for loss. And then we get our first Kenny Minchie action of the season.
Yeah, which was great. I was hoping to see Kenny Minchie in the third quarter because that meant things were going well.
Yep.
As long as
came in with Thunder meant beyond the third quarter.
And I'll tell you what, there was one throw that if Kenny would have just a little bit more, I'm sure that kept him up that night. Like, just a few more yards underneath that ball, and I would have had.
And it's a touchdown, yeah. But that's what we've heard was the big difference in what the decision was, right?
Yeah.
CJ was just, I mean, if you watch Kenny, he played very well, but that deep ball is what the difference was between CJ. CJ doesn't miss his deep balls where Kenny's a little more inaccurate with those, but Kenny put out some great film, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think he was that inaccurate. He just slightly underthrew it. He didn't anticipate the receiver's location when he threw it. If he just threw it a little farther, Burris would have had a touchdown. It was so, but there was some pressure on him. He showed some escapability. He showed some mobility. He showed comfort.
I was going to say his elusiveness is like the best way you can put it, in my opinion. Like that dude is, he's hard to tackle.
He's hard to tackle, and he's quick to get away from a potential tackle. So yeah, I thought Kenny played really good, showed good film in the third and the fourth as well.
Yeah, and we saw a little bit of Neas Williams on this drive. Heard Ty Washington's name for the first time that I can remember this year. KK Smith with another good catch on that drive. Ended up with a missed field goal, so that's always unfortunate. Not a fun way to not get some points, missed field goals. Then Purdue gets the ball back, and it's 3 plays, minus 1 yard. And a quick punt. They did nothing. And then, Notre Dame gets the ball back. Ty Washington gets a grab. Nolan James Jr. hear him for the first time this year, and he gets stuffed on a 4th and 1, though. Which doesn't get the first down, but that's definitely a name. If you follow Notre Dame recruiting, has been very hyped up. Very good freshman running back. Expect to see him in the next couple of years.
Yeah, if Love's going pro this year for sure. If Price goes, it won't shock me. I would be more shocked if Price comes back. I'll just say I think we've got the 2 best running backs in the country.
Yeah.
Arguably, we've got 2 of the top 5. I think that's almost no one will argue that. We may have the 2 best in the country. We may have 1 and 2. If Price were to come back, I'd be shocked. I wouldn't be mad. I'd just be shocked. But even if those 2 guys go, I still think we're going to have top 10 running backs, 2 top 10 running backs next year on our roster. Maybe 3 top 10 running backs on our roster next year if everybody's healthy. So we'll be fine.
Yeah. And then Purdue gets the ball back, throws an interception. Dallas Golden, another guy, if you follow Notre Dame recruiting for a while, he's been a big name in that secondary. And he gets his first Notre Dame interception. So obviously a sweet moment for him. And then Notre Dame's offense goes for it again on 4th down, and we're short. Can go over on downs. But Kenny Minchie, looked pretty solid. Again, elusiveness, and and then at the very end you get a Purdue touchdown, which is scrap time, 24-yard touchdown pass. Again, all of Purdue's touchdowns were kind of like, entertaining. I'll say that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They weren't short on entertainment on the Purdue side.
Yeah, obviously Purdue feels like I'm not saying they're going to win the Big Ten. No one's saying that, but they're a much improved team from where they were last year. They had fight the whole game. But if you look at the box scores, CJ Carr 10 for 12. He threw 12 passes, completed 10, 223 yards of passing, which that gets us in. Congrats to Nathan Gillender. I'm going to pronounce it that way. Contest winner this week.
Way to go, Nathan.
Nice job, Nathan. Yeah, you're getting an Irish 365 t-shirt mailed to you and entered in those 2 Syracuse tickets. So congrats to that.
Yeah.
Well deserved. So we'll have a contest again this week for Arkansas, so make sure you guys are tuned in for that after our pregame show. So sitting for that. But yeah, Kenny Minchie throws 8 passes, so he almost throws over half what CJ did, only play a quarter. It shows the game. But Kenny went 7 for 8. Only one incompletion is that deep ball.
Yeah, and that the ball was catchable, but it wasn't. If he threw it better, it would have been caught. He just underthrew it where the defensive player could make a play on it. Actually, I think the defensive player in a helmet, didn't it? So it was like, man, 2 more yards ahead of that. That ball was perfect. So
I think the impressive part is Kenny Minchie only had 1 run. I mean, you hear about how athletic he is and all this stuff, but he was really staying in the pocket, or not staying in the pocket. He was throwing the ball.
Yeah, I think that's Kenny's elusiveness and hard to tackle and ability to escape is superior to that of CJ Carr. CJ Carr's deep ball is superior to that of Kenny. But to say Kenny can't throw the deep ball or Kenny's not an accurate passer is inappropriate or inaccurate. It's the same to say that CJ Carr can't be mobile, because CJ Carr showed he can be mobile. So I think, maybe one slightly better than the other or something, but they're both very good and they're both full complete quarterbacks. So not perfect, but they're making progress. So it was good to see. So what was your big, I guess, positives and takeaways from it? I guess what are the things you really liked from this game and this game plan?
What I really did like is taking the top off early of the defense. But then, like you said, it felt like we were moving the ball so well you didn't realize we weren't throwing it, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, to think your starting quarterback plays 3 quarters and throws the ball 12 times, but still has 223 yards, 22.3 yards or like a completion.
Yeah,
that's
crazy good stats.
Yeah. I mean, the highest QBR for quarterback since the stats been tracked since 2014 for college at 90.3.
And what was the combined touches for Price and Love, like 30?
So rushing, Love had 19, Price had 9, so I got you to 28. And then I don't think either of them caught a pass this week, but then if you throw in Price's punt and kick or his kickoff duty.
Okay, but even 28. If you tell me that we're getting 28 touches for Price
and that's through 3 quarters
and Love, I love that. And then you tell me
that
we only have to have CJ throw 12 times, and by the way, he's 10 for 12.
Yeah.
To me, that sounds like a winning football combination offensively.
Your starting quarterback throws 12 passes, and you put up 56.
Yeah.
Both running backs average over 8 yards a carry, which is just insane. I mean, I think an all-around offensive successful day at the office.
Yeah, it would have been more impressive to have those stats against a defense the caliber of a Miami or an A&M.
Yeah.
But we needed a good offensive showing, and the offense just continues to get better week after week. They started off pretty good. Actually, after we got down, 17-7 to Miami, the offense turned a corner and started playing really well. And they played really well against A&M. It's just the defense has got to find its footing, and that to me, that's like.
Interesting thing is, Eli Raridan's been our leading or top 2 receiver of the last 2 games. No catches for him against Purdue.
That's just so weird that he just went, and I don't think he came off the field for A&M, and he just was like non-existent. And I don't know if that's just was intentional or just CJ is reading it and he's not open on those 10 pass plays.
Yeah.
Because he was busy engaged in blocking or whatever. But the thing that's been pretty interesting is I don't think Notre Dame has keyed on like Love and Price have been like steady, but they haven't like everywhere else. It's just been distribution, and it's been kind of we're going to get you. I mean, it's it's not one player. It's a group of players. I like what we're seeing from Notre Dame offensively. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I just need to get back to that 2024, 2025 defense level.
Yeah, I mean, allowing 303 yards in the air to Purdue, that's a tough look. Obviously, a couple of trick plays, but Ryan Bone, 21 for 34, 250. That's a lot of yards, right? I mean, a lot more attempts than what we had, so obviously we weren't letting up the explosive play, but, I mean, they had, 3 guys over 55 yards receiving. I mean, like we said, they had some good receivers. I mean, Tuggle, Jackson, Maccabee, Watson. I mean, they had some decent guys, but definitely don't feel like those are the best wide receivers you're going to see all year.
No. So I guess from your fandom standpoint, like, how do you feel about this Irish team? I mean, we thought coming into this point, we thought we might be 2-1, and we're 1-2.
Yeah.
and two very close losses. So I guess how are you feeling now? I was anxious. I think a lot of people were anxious going into the Purdue game. Now we got through the Purdue game. We looked pretty good, not perfect. Still got some concerns, but I guess
I just go back to and it's easy to go back to last year, but after you lose that heartbreaker NIU, I think of NIU and A&M, that's two different heartbreaks, right?
Yeah.
But that response to following 60 whatever to nothing or 7 or whatever we did at Purdue, you're feeling okay, this team's taking it personal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And 56-30 to Purdue, you're like, is this the greatest Notre Dame offense of all time? You know what I mean? We're putting up 50 pieces, we're putting up 40s. And it's we just can't freaking get a stop though. And we got stops half. So I'm going to try to be optimistic about it. But I don't feel good going into a game against Arkansas with the mobile quarterback. You know what I mean? An Arkansas team that can put up a lot of points. Their defense is questionable. But it's is this going to be? Is this what we're at? We're Big 12. I know we joked about it.
Yeah, it's that Big 12. I mean, and you think about it. And I thought about those comparisons. We made the joke the other day. How many times did you see a corner from the Big 12 get drafted pretty high in the NFL draft? You're like, they're a Big 12 corner. And it's
yeah.
But a lot of good corners come out of the Big 12, even though they give up 40 points a game in the Big 12,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the closest comparison I think there is to the way we're playing right now, is we play like a traditional Big 12 team where we've got all kinds of offense and the defense is suspect. It's like we're like Oklahoma State or somebody. It's strange, but yeah, I don't feel bad. I feel better after the Purdue win, but I don't feel like, we've turned the corner, we're there. And obviously Arkansas coming up next week is going to present its own set of challenges, and we can get into that later this week, but there's definitely some challenges there. So as my fan side is I feel good that we got the win, but I don't feel great about where the team's at yet.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where I need some more evidence. I need to see we're getting better.
Yeah.
And it feels like on the offensive side of the ball, it's just who's gonna step up on the defense side. I mean, you're already seeing injury reports and whatnot. Maybe Devontae Smith's still not playing. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I mean, just what are we doing on the back end here? Yeah. So just are we injured already? And are we just young? Do we need more game experience? Are we going to be by week 6? Okay, here we are. Or is it just going to be like this all year long?
Well, I think the good thing about it is if we're going to have some injuries, and get some young guys playing, it's our schedule is going to lighten up a little bit after Arkansas. And Arkansas, I don't think is a big pass threat. I think Arkansas more of a running threat with the quarterback, and he's going to throw enough to keep us honest. If we can't just let him throw the ball. I mean, we got to get some pressure on him, but he's going to have some escapability. He's going to make some, plays with his legs, and then that may end up opening up some opportunities in the passing game for him. But I think the young guys are, what I know is they're freak athletes. There's a lot of good athletes. So they just got to get some things figured out. Dallas Golden showed what an athlete he is. Tay Johnson showed what an athlete he is. So, yeah, we got young guys playing, but I don't feel like it's, oh, my gosh, we don't have athletes playing or these guys aren't physically ready. Yeah. So now again, I feel like it's a coaching issue on the defense is my opinion. I could be way wrong, and I'm not sure if it's, Freeman said 100 times it's not play calling. But have we taught the defensive backs – have we taught the communication? Have we taught the schemes? Do they understand what we're trying to accomplish? I just know I've coached a lot of youth sports, and when the kids understand the goal, even an outline level, they understand what you're trying to accomplish, they play quicker, they play faster, they perform better. And I just don't know if this team is there yet. And I don't know if it's complicated scheme, not complicated scheme, just teaching, training, technique, all kinds of speculation in the fandom swirling around the universe of the internet. So I can't get into that and don't want to get into that right now, but I don't feel good about where we're at. But I don't feel terrible about where we're at either. I see a lot of good things from the offense. It's okay, this offense can keep us in about any game. Can our defense do enough to make sure the offense gets the win?
Yeah. I mean, you just can't expect offense to put up 50 point or 40 point plus every week to win the game.
Why not?
So yeah, it'll be interesting getting ready for Arkansas, but hey, that's later in the week. We can enjoy the victory a little bit, right? We beat the Purdue Boilermakers. We're on the win total. We're up to 22 in the AP poll. life's almost good, right?
Yeah, and I think so. And so the question is, we're at 22 in the AP poll. Is there a path for us to get to the top 12? If we win out, can we get to the top 12? Is our strength of schedule the second half going to be good enough? I think Notre Dame is getting a lot of love from the national media, and that scares me. It concerns me, but it may actually benefit us. We may get that perceived Notre Dame bias that everybody's talked about for the last 30 years may actually exist. I may say, yeah, maybe we were 14, but we got to the 12th spot because we're Notre Dame. Because right now, USC is the only hope we've got to knock off a ranked opponent, I think, coming the balance of the season.
And they got Illinois this weekend, so they got to beat them.
Well, yeah, and they haven't. Yeah, they have to travel to Illinois.
Yeah.
And they haven't always done well when they've traveled east. So we'll see how that goes for USC. But all right, any other comments or things on Purdue?
No, I think we just got to be thankful we got a win. Saw some improvements. Need to hope for a lot more again this week.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we got started a little late on our shooting the pod, so we're not gonna have time to get it to our guests. So apologize, Coach Freeman. We can't get you on tonight, but we'll keep you in the queue for the next time.
Yeah, maybe that pregame show.
Maybe.